Welcome back guys. In this video I'll be testing The Last of Us Part 2 on my Rog Ally running on Windows 11. It's a remaster of the original game that was released in 2020 on PlayStation 4, developed by Naughty Dog Studio. The game is set 4 years after the events of Last of Us Part 1. It focuses on two playable characters, Ellie and Abby. The former embarks on a journey to avenge the murder of someone who was very close to her. Don't want to reveal the spoilers. While the latter is a soldier who becomes involved in a conflict between her militia and a religious cult. It's an action-adventure game played from a third-person perspective in which you fight against human enemies and zombie-like creatures who are infected with some kind of a fungus. In India, the game is priced at around Rs 3300. In US, it's priced at around $50. You can buy the game at a cheaper price from Greenman Gaming. I have XP Gold Tier membership of Greenman Gaming. Purchased the game for around 2800. Sony PlayStation Network account is not required to play this game, but if you sign to your account while playing the game, you will get some in-game rewards. The recommended AMD GPU driver for this game is Adrenalin version 25.3.2. Unfortunately, I was not able to get this GPU driver working on Rog Ally. Installation always failed with an error 43. When I tried running the game on the previous AMD GPU driver, Adrenalin version 25.3.1, the game always crashed at the startup. Eventually I got the game working with AMD GPU driver Adrenalin version 25.2.1. The game officially supports FSR 3.1. The upscaler is decoupled from frame generation. It also supports XeSS version 1.3. So I'll be using XeSS in conjunction with FSR frame generation. FSR upscaler in this game produces some noticeable texture shimmering in the environment. The game even supports AMD AntiLag too, which helps in cutting down the latency. But when I combined it with FSR frame generation, it caused excessive stuttering in the game, so I would not recommend using it with frame generation. Without frame generation, AntiLag 2 worked fine. I have seen this behavior even in Yakuza Pirates. Maybe it's due to the outdated GPU driver. I won't be using the latest one, which is 25.3.2. The Day 1 performance of this game is considerably better than its predecessor. Last of Us Part 1 was a disaster at launch. It was crashing on GPUs with 8 GB of VRAM. Part 2 does not exhibit this behavior. On Ally, you can run it at either low or medium preset. At high preset, the game will eventually crash with an error message stating that the game ran out of memory. This may not happen on Rog Ally X, which has 24 GB of physical memory, unlike the OG Rog Ally that has only 16 GB of physical memory. The game becomes heavily bottlenecked by the CPU in some areas. I think it's downtown Seattle. I haven't reached that area yet. I saw this in Digital Foundry's video, but I don't think CPU bottleneck will be a problem on Rog Ally. Pretty sure that its GPU will become a bottleneck before hitting its CPU limitation. I'll show you the Adrenalin settings for the game. I have installed AMD GPU driver Adrenalin version 25.2.1. Open the game's profile. And there it is. FreeSync and VSync enable. Don't enable AntiLag from here, as we'll be enabling AntiLag 2 from the in-game settings. Even on low settings, VRAM usage exceeded 6 GB on Rog Ally, so I have set the UMA buffer size to auto to prevent the game from crashing. Using a 30 watts manual profile, all three power values set at 30 watts. 900p resolution, CPU boost disabled. Connected my 8-bit to Ultimate 2C controller to Ally via 2.4 GHz wireless mode. My Ally is running on BIOS version 3.1. This message will pop up whenever you run the game. Your GPU driver is outdated. It's recommended to use the latest version 25.3.2. Just ignore this message, click on OK. Games launcher will pop up. Settings. First I'll run the game at 900p resolution. Display mode exclusive full screen. AntiLag 2 on. Upscaler XeSS using its quality preset. FSR upscaler in this game produces some noticeable texture shimmering. Sharpness level set to 4. Frame generation disabled for the time being. VSync off. Frame rate cap 360. Max limit. First I'll run the game using the low preset. Post processing effects disabled. Like chromatic aberration intensity. Film grain intensity. Lens flare. Bloom off. Motion blur off. Depth of field off. Using a custom Afterburner to show you the performance metrics. In the previous game, the shaders used to get compiled at the startup menu right here. This used to take some considerable time depending on our PC CPU. This does not happen in this game. The shaders get compiled during the load screen, only a few of them, and it only takes a few seconds if the game is installed on your SSD. The remaining shaders get compiled during the gameplay. You'll get to know about this when you see the CPU usage getting maxed out while you're playing the game. In-game settings are available here as well. See, same settings. Haven't signed into my PlayStation account. Shaders are getting compiled. See, I'll enable AntiLag 2's latency monitor by pressing its hotkey combo Alt Shift and L. There's the latency value, so AntiLag 2 is working. This is the game's Prologue. Features a big area with a lot of vegetation around us. Traverse the area on horseback. Yeah, FPS is close to 45. Latency value close to 70 milliseconds. Controls are very responsive. Hitting the GPU bottleneck as expected. Not expecting the CPU to be limiting factor on Rog Ally. Big city ahead of us. FPS dropped to around 40. Frame pacing graph is almost a flat line. Okay, now I'll increase the settings to medium. 40 FPS here on low settings. Graphics preset set to medium. Motion blur needs to be disabled. Gets enabled automatically whenever we change the graphics preset. Off. Depth of field off as well. Back to the game. The FPS dropped to around 35. Lost about 4 to 5 FPS after switching from low to medium. So better to run the game at medium preset on Ally. If you want to improve the performance from here, just drop the resolution to 720p. XeSS looks good in this game. Doesn't produce a lot of texture shimmering compared to FSR 3.1. 33 FPS. Quite close to 30 FPS there. Game does not suffer from performance issues in populated areas. I will be testing the game in Jackson town area. Don't know what it's called. Yeah, there was a hitch there. Few hitches can occur. 30 FPS. So I'll drop the resolution to 720p. Apply. Back to the game. Yeah, FPS increased to around 38. Close to 40 now. Gained about 8 to 10 FPS after switching from 900p to 720p. Image quality is still looking decent, not looking blurry at all. Joel's bird is not looking pixelated. I'll test the game in another area now. Look at that CPU load, 70%. Pretty sure the shaders are getting compiled in the background. This is the town that I was talking about. You can see so many non-playable characters around me. Yeah, FPS is close to 50. The game is not stuttering here. Traverse the area on foot. Place is bustling. Okay, now I'll enable FSR frame generation here and show you the stuttering issue caused by AntiLag 2. Frame generation, set it to FSR, upscaler XeSS. Back to the game, the FPS increased to around 81. Just observe the frame pacing graph. You can see the occasional spikes on it, indicating that the game is stuttering. Observe the latency value indicator. It also goes grey from time to time, again indicating that the game is stuttering. So the combination of FSR frame generation and AntiLag 2 causes stutters in this game. See, this is not smooth at all. Look at that spike on the frame pacing graph. So if you want to use FSR frame generation, just disable AntiLag 2. I hope the developers will look into this, or maybe we just need to use the latest GPU driver. Back to the game. FPS is close to 90. No spikes on the frame pacing graph. Much better. Now I'll test the game in another area, show you some combat as well. Playing as Ellie, accompanied by Dina. There's a clicker and an infected zombie nearby. Both of these creatures cannot detect our flashlight, just keep it on whenever you're in a dark area with these creatures. Kill the zombie. Unlike the infected zombie, the clicker is completely blind, but it's very sensitive to sound. So walk very slowly whenever you're near a clicker. It's highly recommended to use the stealth approach to kill this creature. This creature's eyes are completely blocked by some fungal growth. Oh no! Zombie saw me. There it is. Push it away. Die instantly if the clicker grabs me. That was close. Just use a Molotov cocktail. Selected. Missed my shot. Panicking. Just one hitch there. Performance was mostly stable. Indoor area, FPS close to 100. Someone is still alive. I can hear a creature screeching. There it is. Oh no, it's a clicker. That was close. Use my rifle. Okay, here I'll show the difference in terms of image quality between XeSS and FSR 3.1. Just observe these mesh textures. This is the game running using XeSS version 1.3. I'll just switch to FSR 3.1 now. Display. Set it to FSR 3.1 using its quality preset. Apply. Back to the game, getting roughly the same performance. And observe these mesh textures here. They are producing that texture shimmering effect. It's up to you which upscaler you want to use. I'll stick with XeSS. Load the game in another area. Switch back to XeSS. The difference in image quality will be more noticeable on a bigger screen. This is a chase sequence. Horde will be coming after me. I am playing as Abby. Here there will be a few hitches. We'll see. I'll just alert everyone. There you go. Time to run. Run for my life. Okay, needed to press the L1 key. My bad. I was pressing the L3 button. They are right on my tail. Entire area is covered in snow. It's a blizzard here. 90 FPS. I'm going for a slide. Need to go through here. Oh my god. These things are everywhere. That was close. That creature almost grabbed me. You are still not safe. Creatures are spawning from every side. I think I need to go through here. Can't stop anyway. It's not a safe zone. There's the creature. Popped out of nowhere. Climbed the fence. I don't think this fence will be able to hold them out. Squeeze through here. Medkit. Got it. Ammo as well. Scripted sequence. $80 to 90 FPS. One zombie will grab me. Got my cap. Just need to spam a key. X button. See it by Joel. So just disable AntiLag 2 when you are using FSR frame generation. Turn on my flashlight. Get on with your Molotov cocktail. Burn them down. Oh no, these things, they are still coming after me. There was a hitch. Few hitches can occur here and there. Nothing extreme. Game is definitely playable on Ally. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.